What is Defiant Fit? You know, my whole concept here is if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, yeah, that's me. I'm just here to help you out. That's really it. I have been working out since I was 13, and I'll give you a really quick background. I promise it'll be as quick as I can make it. 13, I saw Jack LaLanne, you don't even know who that is, on the UHF channel, and I was kind of pudgy and pasty Midwestern boy, and I thought, that guy's pretty cool. And so anyway, got a set of weights from Kmart. You don't know what that is either, do you? Anyway, up until about 24, 25, I always worked out. I did some high school sports, and I was pretty well built. I mean, I was 175 on a 5'9" frame, and you know, I could do 2 1/4, 275 on squats, you know, full set and everything. So I was in pretty good shape, and I felt really good at 25, right? Somewhere around 26, 27, I ran into a guy at a gym, and we decided to get all serious about this stuff, right? And we read all the stuff that the bodybuilders talked about, all these huge sets and repetitions and what to eat and all these millions of calories and, you know, all this stuff. But what they didn't tell us is to look like them, you had to do a whole lot of steroids. So we did all the really, really, really hard work. And over a period of a few years, I actually got up to about 210 pounds, still on that 5'9" frame, and could do a 500-pound squat, a set of 5, free weights in a cage. I used to be able to do behind-the-neck military presses with a barbell. Believe it or not, I could do 2 1/4, 5 reps. Now that stuff would kill me. So what's happened? As you reach into your 30s, you can hang in there pretty good, but you can't, you know, lift the huge weight. And so you keep some of your size, most of your size, but you can't keep up those really heavy weights anymore. And you hang in there until about 41, still working out real hard, and you can't keep on the muscle anymore, so you start losing weight. And essentially what I've done is I've lost about 1 pound a year on average since I was 41. And so all that time, all that effort, right? So for all those years, I was gaining and getting stronger and and now at 62, I'm back to 175. So what happens is at 50, instead of getting fat, going bald and buying a Porsche, I bought a bicycle, a really nice road bike. I didn't know anybody that road biked, but I thought that looks good for me. So by the time I turned 50, I knew I was never going to lift the big stuff again. I finally admitted to it. It took a long time. You're in denial for a long time on that, even though it's happening all the time. So I mixed up my weightlifting, far less weight, still pretty much every day though, and built in about 50% now of cardiovascular. So I'd always done a bit of mountain hiking and a little bit of cycling, but I now made that about 40, 50% of my workout. And that's where I'm at. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on who I was. Now, regarding the website, I do something really kind of different than most trainers. I go through the internet and look for the very best videos on every exercise, every one of them. And I probably review 30, 40, 50 videos on every exercise to see who it looks like knows the best and has some good ideas. Because the person you want advising you is not the person who thinks they know everything, which I don't. And what I do then is I pick the top 5, 6, 7, 8, and I look at what they're saying, and I come in and I do my own workout and apply some of the points I think might be good. And in the end, I tape myself, which I come from a generation that never taped themselves before, and tell you what I think is really good for you and what I think maybe is not so good for you. And then at the website, what I do is I break those videos I've reviewed into 3 different categories. And one I call young and huge and strong. And those are the guys that maybe I sort of almost was way back then. They just want to tear it up. They can make muscle gains and strength gains almost every week. And so I set aside some videos for those guys. The next group I talk about are the shaped, fit, and diverse. These are folks that sort of what I've become. They want to weight train, they want to work out, and by weights I mean machines or anything you'd like to do. But they don't want to screw up their joints and muscles to the point where they can't run or swim or hike or cycle or ski or whatever it is you love to do. So I set aside a series of videos for them. They just want a little strength, some good tone, some good shape. And then my last category is general fitness and health. And these are folks that maybe this is you, really never worked out, but you think it's time. And you can see either as you're getting a little bit older that things just aren't working as well as they used to. And you'd sure like to regain some of that vigor and strength. And that's for you. These are those category of videos that are going to help you understand the basics. Now, of course, I'm always here on those last two, the folks that want to get a good shape and diversified workouts for the folks who need the general conditioning and want to learn. For you folks that are huge and young and strong, my advice is, one, I'm not going to be your guy because I'm so far over those years. I can remember them, but I can't relive them. Be careful. Take a look at those power lifters. Take a look at those pro bodybuilders. And I'm talking about on a 8K screen, and decide if that's really what you want, because you're going to have to give up so much in your life to get there. Very, very few get there. And, well, get online and look at some of those videos, look at some of those shots, and look at some of these folks 10 and 15 years later and decide if you want to do that. And if you do, go ahead, man. Go all out. Get yourself a good personal trainer that can guide you in that strength and massive sized category. These other two groups I'm going to hang out with. I can't do those 500-pound squats anymore. Wanna live good.